Alright, welcome to Michael is doing what must be done. Amina's got music and personal share. Ben's doing the opening prayer. And Jed's doing doctoral mastery. And Idola is going to close us off. Is there any announcements for this week? No games?
Tennis starts today.
There's baseball trials today.
Baseball tryouts today?
Are you doing softball?
Yeah.
Who's doing baseball tryouts? You are?
Oh, sick. Wait, is that at Legion Field? Is that at Legion Field? Yeah.
Anything else?
Softball trials.
Softball today too?
Pretty sure there's like tennis and track today too.
A lot of sports are too.
Tennis, track, volleyball, football. Volleyball's the only thing ever on my mind. That sounds like a problem.
Alright, our journal question today is, I tend to feel angry when, and is my anger good or bad? Make sure you guys update your reading, and is that it, Brother Jones?
Pretty much.
Turn the time over to Mina.
We got Bailey's Corner.
Oh.
I can read it. Jacob, it's okay. Good morning, he said. Be at home in your head. Make sure joy is well fed. Don't let dread hog the bed. Okay, Amina. You want to introduce the song?
Okay, so it's just like an instrumental song, but it's super pretty. And I really love it because my sister Erin would play it all the time on the piano. And like sometimes if it was like kind of hectic in our house, she'd start like playing the piano and it just like make everything calm. And this is a song she'd always play, so it's really cool.
Reminds you of your sister who's now on a mission
Yeah, she's in Costa Rica.
in Costa Rica. Okay, let's listen to this for a bit, and then why don't we, let's do this. Let's start with a prayer, and then we'll listen to this for a bit while you answer your question, and then we'll do the doctrinal mastery and back to Amina's personal share while this is playing in the background. It's kind of a long song, so we'll enjoy the music while we also do the rest of the opening. Okay? How's that order of things? Ben, I think you're on opening prayer, right? Okay.
Heavenly Father, we just that we can have a great rest of our day and that we can feel the Spirit today in seminary. And please just that we can learn something from the lesson today and that we can get something out of it and apply it in our daily lives. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, so while we're listening to this, answer that question in your journal. Well, let's go ahead with the doctrinal mastery. Jet.
I picked Moses 7:18, and it says, "And the Lord called his people Zion, because they were of one heart and one mind, and dwelt in righteousness, and there was no poor among them." I feel like out of context, when you read "there was no poor among them," you think about like people, and obviously there are poor among us, but I think here, because he says we dwell in righteousness, and then it says, "and there was no poor among them," I think that's what it means by "there were no poor among them," because they were righteous. So they were blessed, and they were not poor in faith.
In faith?
Yes.
Okay. So they weren't in spiritual poverty because they lived in righteousness. So do you think in Zion, then, there are economic inequalities? There's socio-economic classes. There's the upper class, middle class, and lower class in Zion?
I don't know.
Okay. I love your honest answer. I don't know. Do you think yes or no?
I think there is to a much lower extent, and much less value is placed upon that, because with the law of consecration is if you have an extra and you see someone who doesn't have enough, you help them, and of course the problem with that in today's society, in our modern worldly society, is that there are a lot of people that even if you do something to help them, they will continue to make choices that will keep them in a bad position.
Right. So can we live in Zion in an at-large society where there are all kinds of people of all faiths and all different backgrounds and all? I mean, can we create Zion in the current society in which we live?
I think so.
Well, that requires us to be of, what does it say, Jet? Of one heart and of one mind. So it means we have to all be united in the same goal, the same belief, the same effort, the same discipline, the same sacrifice, the same covenants. So unless we're in a society where we are united, we can't create Zion, and there will be poor among us. We live in a fallen world. So there's a great whole lesson to be taught on socioeconomic differences and class distinctions, and what poverty means to the Lord, and what we're supposed to do about that. But we'll put it here. Did we finish? Oh, hi Tammy.
And then a huge
Thanks for chiming in, Tammy.
Yeah, and like even though it sounds like perfectionist did that happen then?
No, it is.
It is.
It literally is.
And it didn't
That's
last.
what we're trying for.
It didn't last.
No,
because-
Zion lasts.
Well, yeah, but I'm like in that situation it didn't last but not because the system doesn't work, it's because the people fell away.
Zion is people who are of one heart and of one mind, who are united. Yeah, so it can be done. It has been done. It can be done. There is an example after the Lord came and visited the Nephites. They lived in a Zion society. Perfect equality. No distinctions. Nobody had more or less than anybody else. It was equality. Economic equality. How do you achieve that? Extremely difficult. But it can be done. So Zion means literally no poor among them. Literally no rich people and no poor people and no middle class people. That's Zion is defined by an economics equality also, as well as spiritual. Yeah.
You still have to work for stuff.
You still have to what?
You still have to work for stuff, though.
Would it be Zion, us being of one heart and one mind, if you are an industrious, hardworking person and you care about, huh?
Ben was not.
And Ben,
Gosh, man.
yeah, Ben was like, I'm going to freeload, man. This is great. Got a lot of hard workers, and I get to just chill. Right? This is awesome. I love Zion, man. Zion for everybody. We just get to do nothing and just hang out. Is that Zion? Are you united? No. And one of the Lord's rules is no man shall eat the bread of another so long as he's able to work with his hands. So it's interesting. There is self-reliance is an underlying principle of Zion. You have to be able to take care of yourself as you serve others and serve the Lord. Yeah, self-reliance. That's why the church is so huge on self-reliance. You can't become a contributor unless you can manage to take care of yourself. That's why it's good to have little pets, like a fish, and like start to take care of something. See if you can even do that well enough to learn how to take care of yourself. And then maybe if you can manage yourself and maybe a pet, maybe like a little job or something, then maybe you might be able to get to a point where you can maybe be connected with somebody and be responsible for another person. You maybe have kids because you can show that you can take care of yourself. You're relying, okay, now let's take care of more people, right? So it goes way out of order all the time, right? But yeah, you have self-reliance as an underlying foundational principle of agency. Nobody freeloads off of anybody, except we all are blessed by the grace of Christ, who gives us something we can't do for ourselves. Back to you.
Okay, so I think 2 nights ago, I was talking to my mom, just talking to her, but
Well, that's good. Well, that's a good start. Talk to your mom.
I was talking to my mom, and I don't know how we got onto this topic, but we were just talking about, like, just when other people have different opinions and views than you, how important it is to, like your religious views, how important it is to always stand up for what you believe in, even when they're probably all, like, totally disagreeing with you. And so I was just talking to her for like 2 hours. I'm not joking, like 2 hours. And like I was telling her that sometimes it's hard to stand up for what I believe in because everybody else is like thinks I'm crazy or just, all that stuff. And so I was just talking to her, and she just made it a point that it's so important to, no matter what, just always stand up for what you believe in. So that was really cool. We talked a lot about like the word of wisdom and things that relate to that, and just everybody has different opinions and views, and mine are probably different than some of yours, but it's important to stand up for what you believe in always. So
Yeah.
it's my
Awesome.
personal share.
It is. I mean, it's fine to stand up for something you believe in when you're standing with a whole bunch of people around you, right? But sometimes standing up for what you believe in means you stand alone. Or it seems that way.
And also, like, it really matters too that the way that we stand up doesn't, we need to be firm, but like, if we, need to do it in a way that people still realize that, we are being, open to people, like, because even though plenty of people will never agree with us, we still need to be,
Agreeable.
We need to be agreeable.
Yeah.
We need to be in a position where we aren't pushing them away from trying to agree with us.
Yeah, you're right.
Need to make sure that,
There's a right way to stand up for what you believe in, which isn't contentious, and it's not like me versus you, or I'm right and you're wrong. It's easy. We can say, this is what I believe. You don't have to believe it. And I'm totally cool, and we could be friends. In fact, I like being friends with people who disagree with me, because then it helps me to refine what I believe. It gives me, it challenges me.
give you a different perspective.
It's good to have not friends who will tear you down or try to discourage your faith, but it's good to be in conversation with people of different backgrounds and stuff. Yeah. So cool that you got to talk to your mom about that. She's available and willing to engage with you like that. Anybody else have similar experiences in standing up for or sharing your beliefs with those that don't necessarily accept them? Is it scary? Yeah, Bailey.
So like freshman year, I had this friend, and we would like walk the track together for PE class, and we got to talking about like our religions, and she's Christian, but she does not believe in the Book of Mormon, and I told her, you know, well, it's just like another testament of Christ, but she was just like, no, we don't need it, we only need the Bible. I was like, but it's another testament, it could help you, and she just was not having it.
Yeah.
And so we're still friends. We don't let it like get in the way of our friendship or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was hard though, telling her, like having to explain that to her, and I tried to explain, you know, like the Day of the Dead, or not Day of the Dead, but like baptism of the dead, and like temples and all that stuff. And she actually liked the temple stuff. She thought they were really pretty. She didn't really understand the baptism of the dead, but that was kind of to be expected. She thought it was a little creepy at first.
It is kind of a weird thing unless you understand a few things.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Cool. Way to go. Way to speak up. And all you're doing is offering another option. You're offering something that you know helps you. If they don't take it, it's like it doesn't hurt you.
It's their loss.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like it's their loss. And you can still maintain a connection, because you don't know but what a time will come in their life when they might hunger for something more. And if you can keep a little tether, a little connection with all the people who've come into your life, you know, enough that they feel like they can reach out to you. They've got a lifeline. They're like, I remember she said something about this, and now I'm hungry for something. I know where I can go to receive something that was offered to me. So keeping those connections, even though you disagree now, you don't know what life's going to bring. And you don't know when the Holy Ghost can touch them to inspire them to want to learn something that they heard 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, or 3 years ago. You just don't know. So speak up. Awesome. Thanks, Amina. There was a hand someplace else. No. Okay. Oh, yeah. That was yours. Right. Okay.
Well, I completely forgot to say this, but so like it was a while ago, but I was talking to one of my friends. I was just walking with them, and they were gonna tell me this story, and they were with like their friends as well, so it was like a big group of people. And then they're like, "Oh wait, no, I don't want to tell you. You're too innocent." And I was like, what? I'm not too innocent.
Did you take that as a dig?
Yes. And
Okay.
so, like, it made me so annoyed. I was like, but I'm not too innocent.
I'm not
So,
childish.
like, yeah, I felt like, I don't know, it frustrated me so bad. And so, when I was talking to my mom, I was like, it's so annoying, because sometimes it's hard to stand up for what you believe in, because people are going to think that you don't have a life, or you just, you know, you're kind of lame, or, you know, you're just weird or crazy. And so when I was talking to her, she's like, you know, you really shouldn't be upset about that. And I was like, well, why not? They're like totally leaving me out of this conversation because I'm too innocent or something. She's like, no, you really should be honored that they would do that. And I was like, I was so confused. I was like, why would I be honored that they're not talking to me about whatever it is they wanted to talk to me about? And she's like, no, you should be honored, because they know your standards, and they know that you probably would not enjoy or want to hear what they have to say. So that was like really cool.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Has anybody else felt the same way? Like you think that your friends might think that you're sheltered or too protected or innocent is the word used in this case. And that sort of like rubs you the wrong way a little bit. They think you're like babyish or like something like that, right? Trevor, you raised your hand. I felt that way, and you know what? You guys, I still feel that way. I still get that as an adult from peers who think that I can't think for myself because we have a prophet, or who think that I live a sheltered, small little life because I still go to church and because I still am a believer. It's like, haven't you grown up out of that by now? That's childish. That's childish thinking, you know. Still. And it used to bug me in high school, yeah. But then I realized, I'm way smarter than most of these people. I know way more than they know.
Like they don't even.
Like
know
it's a
what
good
religion is about,
thing
man.
to want to be close to God. There's a strength in that. And the fact that people won't tell a joke around me, or they will exclude me from some invites to certain parties or events or whatever, because they just assume, based on the reputation that I built for myself as somebody who doesn't engage in word of wisdom-ish, use of alcohol and stuff and like certain kinds of environments, that they don't invite me. That's like, okay, like I don't really need that anyway. So it's going to continue the rest of your life. And what I know is that there's this song that I sang in high school at one of the seminary morning sides that says, the lyrics were something like, I never stand alone. I stand with Nephi and Moroni. So like, even though I feel like there's nobody around me, I'm actually in really good company when I'm standing up for what's right. I'm in really good spiritual company with some amazing people who would be standing right by me if they were here. So I'd rather be in good company of people I truly respect and admire and want to be like that share that Charlie did the other day. How can I become like people I really want to become like? Don't worry so much about being included or being put down or like, oh, you're childish, or it's like, yeah, like that's, yeah, just like your mom. All right, that's like a badge of honor, It's cool. It's a reputation. And it's an innocence, and what that means is it's a light about you that's recognizable and discernible. And that, people want that. They recognize it, but it's easy to put it down. Mostly because they're jealous, in a way. So, you're going to get it your whole life. It's fine. You're smarter than them. You know way more than they do. So you act different, and that's good. Okay. Anything else on that? Cool. Let's, you have thoughts about this? Maybe use that as a backdrop for this basket question. We've been kind of saying we're going to get to it. How do you keep anger from turning into hate? Somebody's asking this. Maybe somebody's angry, and maybe somebody doesn't want to feel hatred. Is there a difference? Like, is there a difference between anger and hatred?
Certainly.
Go.
I mean, you can. It's a lot easier to be angry at someone than to hate someone. I mean, like, I think everyone's been angry at their friends before.
So you're talking about anger directed at a person, okay? But it doesn't have to be hatred?
Yeah, like, I've been angry at my friends. Like, I've definitely been angry at my friends before, and I don't hate them at all.
Why didn't it go to hatred?
Well, because it's not something huge, and also I just haven't let myself dwell on it.
So is anger a more mild version of hatred? Hatred is just an extended version of anger? Is it the same thing in degrees?
Anger can lead to hatred, but...
Okay, and this person wants to know how to keep it, because obviously it's tending toward hatred.
It can lead
anger.
towards it, but I wouldn't say it's just a milder version, I guess.
Okay. Trevor, then Amina?
Yes, anger can lead to hatred if you have that anger for so long, and one way to help is talk to your friend, tell them not to do what they did to make you angry. But if you keep doing it, you're gonna keep getting angry, and then eventually probably hate them.
So do you manage your anger by controlling other people? You talk to them, you get them to understand you or to stop doing whatever, then I can stop being angry?
No.
Is it other people's responsibility to manage your anger for you?
No.
Can you change other people?
No.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but so then what are you saying?
Then just give them heads up. You can't control them if they keep doing it. Then that's rough.
Then what?
And then yes, it can.
Then you hate them?
Not exactly. Then you get annoyed. There's a difference.
Annoyed, so annoyance is a milder version of anger.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's just lots of versions.
What might you have to do if the situation doesn't change? If you can't change other people and there's something making you angry,
Take a step back, just avoid them maybe for a little bit. Just kind of, yeah. That's go.
Amina, then Chase.
Well, I like to think of it like anger is kind of an in the moment thing, and hatred's more of like a long term kind of thing.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but like it's kind of what I think about.
It's maybe easier to get over anger than hatred. Hatred seems like something that sort of settles in, that metastasizes like a tumor. That's hard to get out in a way. Chase?
There was this one kid, and he was like, always,
Was it Ben?
No, he wasn't Ben. He would always just like cuss around me, like when I was younger, and I didn't really like it because cussing is bad. And like in 5th grade, and then I told my mom, and she was like, just ask him to stop. And so I asked him, and he was like, okay. And so he stopped, which is like, I was mad when he first did it, and then I just like asked him to stop, and he stopped. So that's kind of like saying Trevor's thing worked.
That's awesome
It was-
because
it was cool that he could change.
he valued your friendship enough to listen to something you said and say, okay, I choose this friendship over my cussing habit or whatever.
Which was cool.
A lot of people swear just because they think it's impressive. They think they're actually making
He
friends or
was
impressing
so cool.
people.
He was a baddie.
He was a baddie? Was it so cool that he swore?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Back in
awesome.
5th
Huh?
grade,
It's like-
yeah.
Caleb and then Brittany.
I was thinking about it, and I think anger is something you overcome, and hatred is something you become. Like, does that make sense?
Okay. Sure, I like that way of thinking about it.
Because hatred, I don't think you like naturally just like see something or see someone and you're just like, oh, I hate that. You know, I think you have to like mentally make the decision, like, okay, yeah, I hate that. It's not just natural reaction, but then there are things that people can do and like naturally you just get angry at, right? Like naturally, I'm not gonna like people, you know, talking down about me. I'm naturally not gonna like, you know, people being rude to me. But I think it's more of a decision to hate than just to be angry.
Oh, so you're saying hatred is more of a choice. Anger is a natural emotional reaction that you may not be able to necessarily, you don't choose to feel angry in a moment. In fact, anger is good. Remember? Anger is valuable. God gave you anger for a reason. So don't be so afraid of anger all the time. Anger is not unchristian. Anger is not unchristlike. Okay? Anger is good when it is channeled toward the... So, be angry, but be angry at the right things. Yeah? Be aware of what your anger is directed at. Don't be angry at the wrong things. Be angry at the right things. Use that anger. It's powerful. It's good. But to hate maybe is a choice. To feed the anger maybe at the wrong things in the wrong way that sets in and becomes more like you, like coming from you. Yeah, okay, I can see that. Brittany and then Ben.
I feel that like there's a strong difference between hating an action and hating a person.
Yes.
Hating an action is so like you could hate Amina for doing like clicking her nails or whatever.
Hate her for being innocent.
And I can hate Amina for just the way she looks.
Sure.
But those are two different things. Like something she does and something she is two entirely different things.
So one of them you're saying it focuses on a person and they're a detestable sort of thing. It's like that person is hateable. You know, it's like you see that person as something really like detestable, right? Versus there's a human being and every soul is great in the eyes of God, but the thing they're doing, I don't like.
Yeah.
So you can separate the soul from the action of
Yeah.
the person. That's helpful.
Well, but
Like-
nobody got such strong feelings against me.
I'll be sure to keep you guys sitting on other sides of the room at all times.
No, it was bad.
Oh, it was yes. Good.
So I don't know for like me, you guys like you were talking about like make a choice. Maybe I'm just weird, but like every once in a while I meet someone like I've never even like seen or met before, and it just like clicks in my head like I do not like that person at all. Like
Is it because of their
they've never
shoes?
even like talked to me. It's just like no, I can tell that I hate that person.
Oh.
And then it's like I don't know.
And then what do you do?
Sounds like a you.
I just don't like them.
Walk around hating somebody?
Yeah.
So there's a lot there, like that. So whatever's clicking is interesting. Put a little attention on that. Be like, okay, what makes me not like that person? Can I define it?
Because they're like our sisters.
Because they're like your sisters. They're those detestable, awful little wicked creatures. Those little sisters. Okay, Jet and Taylor. Oh, Eliza. Yeah. Go ahead.
Like what Brittany said, how there's like a difference between hating an action and hating a person. I feel like there's this teacher I really dislike for like her actions, but like really dislike her.
Uh-huh.
And
Look, he's smiling so big.
Is it your English teacher?
yes.
Okay,
I
let's
feel
not
the
get
same
specific. People's names are safe. There's a person whose actions. Oh gosh.
And I think it's important to not let somebody's actions turn into hating a person.
Don't actions speak louder
Because
than words.
maybe.
Well, and you can say actions come out of a person, right? So if
Are you gonna let them control your emotion, which will then your emotions,
So-
which will then
Yeah,
influence your
so how do you manage that? How do you deal with that?
I just endure it, I guess. I know that next year I won't have her anymore, and that will be amazing.
Okay.
To never see her again.
Okay. So you're able to take a different perspective,
Yes.
and that helps you not feel so emotionally angsty when you're in her presence, because you're like, soon enough I'll be out here. I can kind of detach a little bit.
Yeah.
It is really a really useful thing to be able to be in the presence of something that bugs you so much that you just can't stand, but have the emotional resilience to say, I don't have to let this person's actions ruin my day. I don't like feeling all angry and like thinking and like, man, people have really good reasons to be really angry and to hate people. Imagine if you feel that way about a teacher who's not necessarily hurting you. It's just like the way that they are is just like kind of bugs you or whatever. I mean, imagine truly being hurt by somebody. There are a lot of people who have really good reasons to hate and to be angry. But thanks. There's a certain way of managing your emotion so that it doesn't have to ruin your day. You can let them be their messy self. Just be however you want. Be your messy self. And I don't care. Like, I don't have to get involved in that mess. You don't have to get your mess all over me. Look at me. I'm above it. Who did I say we're going to after Jet? Oh, Taylor, and then Eliza, and then back to Brittany. And we're almost out of time.
There are some people, like, I don't hate very many people. There are very few people that I hate.
Good.
Or actually none now. But there have been a couple people that, like,
Spit it out, Taylor.
There's only two people I've ever met that I just hated them, like, instant. Like, it was.
Oh, kind of Ben style.
Like what Ben was
It's like, yes.
And
happens.
There can be a couple reasons for that. Like, physical-wise, we have hormones that click with some people, that are attracted to other people, and that are greatly repelled with some other people. So sometimes
It's not just hormonal, like your biology. It's also spiritual.
And spiritually, yeah.
You have a spiritual sense, right? Your spirit knows and sees things that your brain and your eyeballs and your earballs do not see, right? Like, you have a sense that you aren't conscious of, okay? you got to appreciate that. So I'm backing you up in saying sometimes you sense that somebody is very dangerous, or they have evil intentions. And you don't have a good reason for that. But it makes you be like, okay, I got to keep my distance from that, whatever that is. I hate them. I hate them.
Yeah. So
Okay, go.
So then sometimes it's just like they're opposite from your character, and you really, really just don't work together.
There's just friction. Yeah,
so a lot of
personalities.
friction.
Probably more Jet's issue. It's more like a personality conflict. Kind of. I don't like the style. I don't like the way they are. Yeah.
But I found that whenever I have some time that I really don't fit with somebody, there's some good in every person. There's something to appreciate in everybody. And so if I find something that I really don't get along with, then I found what works for me is taking a step back, staying away from them for a couple days, praying about it, and trying to and talking to other people that do know them, and asking to hear what the good things about that person are, so that I can, next time I see them, I come in with the mindset that these are the good things about them, these are the things that I can appreciate, and it helps me focus on those instead of.
So you're proactive about finding something positive.
What if they have no good parts?
Everyone wants a good part.
They're just a soil.
What if they
Way
don't?
too deep down to ever resurface.
They're just a rotten apple.
You haven't looked.
Chances are pretty good you might not ever come in contact with anybody who is absolutely rotten to the absolute core.
I have.
And who's unredeemable. Yeah, I have her 4th period. So. Okay, Eliza.
So something I liked what Amina and Jet said is I lost what I was gonna say now. But hating someone and then hating what they do is a really big distinction, like Brittany said. When you hate something that someone does, it shows what you're willing to tolerate. I hate that Amina smokes, but I don't hate her.
Time to lose your innocence, Amina.
Amina! But I don't hate her because she's a smoker.
Yeah.
But it shows that I'm not willing to tolerate that she smokes. I'm not going to put myself around her because she smokes, or let her smoking come upon my smoking, or anything like that.
Yeah.
It shows that I'm willing to tolerate.
Good. So you're good at putting up boundaries and saying it doesn't have to be hatred, but I can set boundaries for things I don't like that I don't want in my life. Cool. We are. Last word?
I was just gonna say that basically the same thing. Basically, you can hate someone for what they're doing, but you need to set boundaries and say, hey, I don't like this. I'm not gonna have contact with you. I don't want this in my life.
It's okay to not like people sometimes, right? That's okay. You just got to accept you're not going to get along with everybody. But my guess is whoever asked this question, it's something more deep than not just getting along with somebody. And I had a few scriptures because I like to hear what we think, and I like to get in the scriptures and see what the Lord thinks. And we're out of time, way out of time. So we're not going to read these, but tomorrow we will. So come back tomorrow for round 2 of hatred versus anger. It's fun, but it's sad. All right. Closing prayer.
Me.
Thanks.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank thee for this day. Thank thee for the opportunity to come to seminary and learn and also help others. Please bless the Ukrainians that they could be safe and the Russian leaders will take their soldiers back home. And please bless that we can be loving to others and that we won't let hate take over us. And please bless that we can do the things that we need to today and not wait till tomorrow. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Iowa.